Trying to break that nervous tension that happens right at the front of everything. What nervous tension? Hey, thanks for all of y'all for coming out today. Few adjustments made along the way for today. That's okay. We're going to roll with the punches on that. Anytime you feel like singing along, well, that would just be great, because then we know if we miss a beat, you'll carry us on that. So that'll be fine. Not that we intend to. We don't want to. One joke before we start. What do you get if you drop a Steinway Baby Grand on Fort Campbell? A flat major. All right, that ought to be good. Let's try to take off on it. Thank you very much.
Nice.
goes out to Gina. All right, here we go. This is our one chance, the one life we have that we know we can live. So that's what this song is all about.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4.
When the world is breaking down around you, thinking everything that you know, what you didn't know is that we can go forever if we want to. We can live inside of a moment, the one that we own. You and me, we got this. You and me, we're beautiful, beautiful. We're gonna be alright. We always got the fight in us. And we're gonna live tonight. Like there's no tomorrow, 'cause we're the afterlife. Living like you're dying isn't living at all. Give me your cold hands, put them on my heart. Raise a glass to everyone who thinks they'll never make it through this life, to live a brand new start. You and me, we got this. You and me, we're beautiful, beautiful. We are gonna be alright. We always got the fight in us. And we're gonna live tonight. Like there's no tomorrow, 'cause we're the afterlife. 'Cause we're the afterlife. 'Cause we're the afterlife. Every time I close my eyes, I hear your favorite song, and I need not to run, not to worry anymore. I can hold on tight to nothing better than the rest, so it's now or never. We're gonna be alright. We got the fight in us, and we're gonna live tonight. Like there's no tomorrow, 'cause we're the afterlife. We are gonna be alright. We always got the fight in us, and we're gonna live tonight. Like there's no tomorrow, 'cause we're the afterlife. We are gonna be alright. We always got the fight in us, and we're gonna live tonight. Like there's no tomorrow, 'cause we're the afterlife. We are gonna be alright. We always got the fight in us, and we're gonna live tonight. Like there's no tomorrow, 'cause we're the afterlife.
Thank you, Sunday Assembly. Now it's time for the band to take a short pause, and we'll turn it over to our host for the day, Jennifer Brown. Give it up.
Well, obviously we're talking about music today, so I have to start off with some music. So, hello, hello, hello. What a wonderful word, hello. You know, gotta greet y'all. So, first of all, I want to welcome everybody to Sunday Assembly for the new year. Woot woot, we're 2019. If it is your first time, if I could get you to raise your hand, and somebody's going to count that for me, I think. Wow, look at all the awesome new people. Okay, cool beans. So, on the back of your program, there's a whole bunch of information, and I'm just going to go over it a little bit. Our motto, live better, help often, wonder more. Now, for those of you who've been around a while, you've heard all this, that we want a Sunday assembly in every town, city, and village that wants one, and our mission is to help everyone live life as fully as possible. So, you're familiar with this, but, you know, I got to do things a little bit differently today. Yes! Yo, where my DJ at?
DJ Nugget in the house! Now I'm going to need your help get this started off, so here we go!
Welcome to a place that's fun to be, where you can come hang with people like me. Data's not really part of our creed, but supporting each other with whatever you need. If this is your first time, want to raise your hand, get ready to enjoy and sing with our band. Live better, help often, and wonder more. Our speaker is sure not to be a bore. If you're tired of religion and all of its flaw, come hang out at Sand. We got the good stuff. So... now that you know that I'm a complete crazy person and I can't rap, I want to talk to you a little bit about music. I want to tell you how music is everywhere without you even realizing it. I want you to think about the very first thing that you ever learned as a child was probably to sing, not say, your alphabet. Think about it. And when you think about the alphabet, even in the back of your mind, you're going, A, B, C, D. Oh, okay. And we say things and we do things in such a way that rhythm and intonation and loudness and softness is all very much a part of how we speak. I want you to think about the difference between ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country, versus ask not what you can do for your country, but what your country can do for you. Who replaced JFK with a robot? So we talk about it and we think about it, and it's not even really part of our mental process, but it is in your veins. It's in your heartbeat. It's a part of who you are. And so, of course, we, as non-religious people, we want songs that talk about the things that we believe in and the things that we want to do. Now, before I continue, I do want to let you know, we do tape these for YouTube. And if you don't feel like you really want to be a part of the visual part of Sunday Assembly Nashville, there's this whole wonderful section over here that is not going to be on the cameras and not going to be photographed at all. But we do want to encourage you to feel like you can be a part of this. So anyways, all right, so let's move on to our reading. I'd like to bring up Pat Sharp, and she's going to read 2 poems for us.
I Am in Need of Music by Elizabeth Bishop. I am in need of music that would flow over my fretful, feeling fingertips, over my bitter-tainted, trembling lips, with melody, deep, clear, and liquid slow. Oh, for the healing swaying, old and low, of some song sung to rest the tired dead. A song to fall like water on my head and over quivering limbs, dream flushed to glow. There is a magic made by melody, a spell of rest and quiet breath and cool heart that sinks through fading colors deep to the subaqueous stillness of the sea and floats forever in a moon-green pool, held in the arms of rhythm and of sleep. Let's Put It to Music by Johnny Cash. How do you feel about me now that you've learned to know me? Why don't we both admit that something is happening, and we would feel better if we just tell each other. No need to keep it to ourselves. Let's put it to music. Let's put it to music. Let's sing about it, laugh about it, clap about it, and shout about it. Let the whole world hear it in a sweet, sweet melody. Let's put it to music, you and me.
So every month we have someone usually come in from outside and tell us all about how the stars are awesome or how we really need to learn how to communicate with each other. Well, this month is a little bit different. We're talking about non-theist music in the Bible Belt, and we have our very own in-house musicians. So we thought, why not bring in the best? Of course. We have to let's speak, our very own Stephen Phelps. So could you please come on up?
Guess how many exoskeleton planets there? Oh, wait, that's a different. That's not my area. All right, have I got enough of this? All right, one more little joke before we get going here. I love to start that way, but I'm going to keep it quick. Why couldn't the string quartet find their composer? Why? He was hiding. All right, Jason, is this guitar in? He said, okay, here we go. I wrote this song right here when I was a music director in a church. A million atoms on the head of a pin. 10 gazillion galaxies in a state of spin. I tried to contemplate the great creator with philosophy and a calculator, but I never got an answer till I found him. I had to stop thinking about it. It was over my head. Yeah, I had to stop thinking about it and just believe what the good book said. Agitation, rumination, and deep deliberation left me swimming in a sea of doubt. So before I started sinking, I had to stop thinking about it. Thank you. Ironic that not so long ago, this was the one. Why in this world are we here in this world? Are we imbued with a purpose? Or did we just beat all the odds? Questions are raised, sometimes fact versus faith. Are you up to the challenge of balancing science and gods? Listen to skeptics, listen to priests, then let your own voice tell you what to believe. It's okay to think about it, it's okay to wonder why. 'Cause if you never doubt it, how can you know it's right? Truth is a moving target, aim for it anyway, find your own answers. It's okay. It's So how do you get from one of those to the other? My musical upbringing started in the First Assembly of God Church in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. We were there every time the doors were open, and I wanted to learn how to sing alto. So I would stand up on the pew, and so I could get my ear closer to my mother. I learned to sing those gospel harmonies, did a lot of that as a family back then. And I think I'm just going to let that go for a minute. And learned to play some guitar along the way. And then when I went to college, I dropped out of church. And then I met some guys in the music department who were horn players, and they didn't have a guitar. So when they convinced me to go out on the road, I dropped out of college as well. Later on, through kind of a catastrophic event, you know how that can make you rethink where you are in life. So at that time, I went back to church. Along the way, I had been studying the art of songwriting, and I say art, craft would be a better description. You know, what makes a good opening line? What's a good rhyme scheme? Keep it exciting. Let that verse lead up to the first line in the chorus, all those sorts of technical type things. And I was writing at that time songs that I hoped would hit a targeted market, either country or, in this case, when I was in the church, I wrote one that I hoped would hit the country gospel market. And I don't think the lyrics are up there on this one, but this one just really fell into place. I think you'll enjoy it, even though it is a gospel song. If Mama would have known how I'd be when I was grown, Daredevil would have been my name. If it gets a man excited, well, you can bet I tried it. I've been fast, foolish, fearless, and insane. But the biggest thrill I ever got was the day I jumped. Wait a second. The biggest thrill I ever knew was the night I jumped out of my pew. Took a death-defying leap of faith and landed in the arms of His saving grace. I want to testify, sing His praise. Hey, I ain't scared of dying. I took a death-defying leap of faith. So you get the point. All through the years, music has been one of the vehicles that people use for social change. If you want to go back even to the early 1900s when the women's suffrage movement was in place, there were songs that were used during that time. I had to look them up because I didn't know them, but there were. For instance, they wrote one called "Give the Ballot to the Mothers." I don't remember that one. Do you? And the Promised Land, what they did was they adopted patriotic anthems, and they would use those in their rally. So for me today, my writing really is all about how do you get to that point of equality that so many before us have had to struggle to get to. And maybe we're not all the way there in every instance, but at least in the case of women, we're a whole lot better off than we were a long time ago. Civil rights, same thing. Music was emblematic of the civil rights movement, the LGBTQ movement, songs in that area. Let's look at a few of those. Here's We shall overcome. We shall overcome. It's like an anthem for the civil rights movement. Here's another one. You'll hear this one next month, too. I was born by the river in a little tent, just like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know a change is gonna come. Great song. I just discovered that one recently myself. Okay, let's move on to, okay, here we go. How about Born This Way, Lady Gaga? Huh? You know what rights movement that belongs to, don't you? Or how about this one? Come to my window, call inside, dance by the light of the moon. Come one came from. Okay. Or even in the country market. So kiss lots of boys, kiss lots of girls. Make lots of, I don't know. Kiss lots of boys, make lots of noise. Here it is. Kiss lots of girls if that's something you're into. You get the point. So, music has been instrumental, no play on words there, but just happened that way, has been instrumental in helping to facilitate social change. And for me, you know, when I was writing those songs targeting a market, I wrote some pretty good songs, and I was proud of some of them. But it's a whole different world now. Now I can't put the pen down. It just seems like every week, every month, there's another song. It's got to come out. It's got to come out. And so I've kind of looked at those songs, the ones in the catalog already, and there's one I'm going to do here in a minute that's not even finished. We're going to learn a little bit of it. But I kind of tried to categorize those. And the first category that I came up with was confrontational songs, songs that really just stick it right in your face if you've been trying to promote ideas based from I'm just going to go ahead and say it, a religious background that is oppressive to many people. So, there shouldn't be any church and state mixing up together. So that's what this song was about. It actually came from the fact that I was hearing tons and tons of Christmas songs, and I didn't want to hear those Christmas songs. So this song came to be, this particular verse happens to be one about the monuments on the lawns of courthouses. Thank you. Is that little email thing available? I sent this song. Oh, man, I better go with it. I might run over. I sent this song to Dan Barker, and they want to use it on their Free Thought Radio thing. Here you go. Someone fires a shot over the bow of old stone tablets. Tempers get hot, and legal sabers rattle. Keep the commandments all you want, but when it comes to the courthouse lawn, thou shalt not. I'm going to abbreviate it right there, but you get the point. It's kind of sticking it in the face there. I wrote a real funny one, I thought, called While Our Religion. Turns out it's a little bit on the sarcastic side, but it's up on our YouTube channel. You can look at it if you want to. And I had one idea that really backfired on me. I said, wouldn't it be funny if you took a real pretty melody and you put all those most hideous lyrics hideous verses out of the Bible in there and sang them to that beautiful melody? And I did. But I was surprised after all was said and done. I didn't even want to hear it. It's so bad. I mean, it's so offensive. It makes you cringe. So I'm not going to do that one today. But if you want to hear it, you can maybe message me on Meetup. How about this song for affirmation? I'm running short on time. Say the word, you will see. The moment that you give a voice to your choice, you are free. Tell the world, this is me. Break through the doubt, shout it out loud and be heard. Say the word. There's a bridge in there where it says, a new life to live in the second you name it. Lesbian, humanist, liberal, activist, freethinker, transgender, dare I say atheist. And thank you. So I'm not afraid to use that word. I guess today I better not be because I'm going to be on YouTube somewhere down the line. And how about this one as a unification song? I'm sure you've heard it. Let's see. Today is the day. This is the place. We are the new congregation. We'll keep all the best. Let go of the rest. This is a true celebration of life. So let's try to make it the best we can. Join in the song. This is where you belong. We are the new congregation. That's one I wrote just for this particular group right here. How much time do I have? 2 minutes. Dang, I can't do this one. Well, I've got one called Common Sense. I hope you hear it soon. It's one about reaching out to the other side of folks. And it really talks about how you look at the same thing and perceive things differently. One person sees a criminal coming across the southern border. Another person sees someone in despair. And if you could get your hearts together on that, maybe we could facilitate some change in that and find some middle ground. I guess ultimately, here's where I'm going with it. And I think this will wrap it up on time. I got a million songs. I could just do them all day. But this is the one that's not complete yet. And I wanted to end with it because it's another one of those affirmation songs. I really believe that if we have enough good material and when we meet up like this, we sing it and we put out to ourselves, I mean, you are good people. You are compassionate people. You're loving people. We should embrace the life that we've chosen like this, and the more we can be empowered to do so, then I think the better it's going to be. I believe, personally, that there will be a time, not in my lifetime, but not so far out in the distant future, where the religions of the day will pretty much just fall away, because there's just nothing you can prove there. You may say, well, why do you say that? Well, I don't know. Look at, would you call out people that practice voodoo or people that have superstitions? Those things you just can't substantiate them. So I think that's where it's going. Anyway, I'm going to do a little bit of this one. Where are we? Oh, I'm missing a... Oh, here you go. I'll do the chorus a couple of times once we get there so you can join me. Soapbox prophets preach and pray, apologists pontificate. They say there's just one way that's true. Let the so-called authorities defend, then disagree. I have my own beliefs to turn to. Everything I need is right here in me. Don't try to sell me. Don't need a shining light to know wrong from right. The love in my heart will tell me I'm not perfect, but I am complete. I have everything I need. Everything I need is right here in me. Don't try to sell me. Don't need a shining light to tell wrong from right. Love in my heart will tell me I'm not perfect, but I am complete. I have everything I need. Are you getting it? One more time. This will be the last time through, and thank you very much, Nashville. Here we go. Everything I need is right here in me. Don't try to sell me. Don't need a shining light to know wrong from right. The love in my heart will tell me, oh, I'm not perfect, but I am complete. I have everything I need. Thank you for listening. Tune in next week on FFRF Radio.
Thank you so much, Stephen. We really appreciate all your hard work and everything that you do for Sunday Assembly and us by letting us listen to your awesome music. So we're coming up on our minute of mindfulness, and I want you to hear a little something. I want you to think about the word cacophony, and basically that means a harsh, discordant mixture of sounds. Now, the reason that I bring this up is there's a piece of music that I want you to listen to here in a minute. It's called 4 minutes and 33 seconds. It was written by the composer John Cage. Now, what you may not realize is that it's completely silent. And the reason for that, and the reason for my scarf, I don't know if you can see, but there are music rests on this scarf, not notes, because in reality, music is what happens between the notes, without rests, without pauses. Between the notes, all we have is overwhelming, discordant cacophony. And that's not what we want. We want something that speaks to us. We want something that makes us think, that makes us feel. So I want you to listen to a minute of 4 minutes and 33 seconds. Now, isn't that the most beautiful music you've ever heard? Yeah, I'd like to call up the band to perform a number. It's just Stephen. Okay, I'm sorry, I didn't know.
John Cage stole that idea from me. Okay, well, you've heard the singer-songwriter versions of quite a few of these numbers. So this one is one that after the songs are written, they end up going back to the studio. I have the facility to put some things together there. So they sound a little different once they get all the fluff on there. So this is another one of those that I would consider a unification type song. In here it even mentions, and I don't have anything against any religion that's doing good humanitarian work. That's where we ought to be on their side. So this kind of has an allusion in the middle to that. Are the words available on this one for two? Yeah, that's it. Okay, anytime, Jason. Make sure you got some reverb on here, because these are high notes. I don't usually hit them. Empty stomach, empty soul. He cries out for consolation, but there's no one there. No one listening to his prayer. No miracles for his despair. But there is salvation in all of us. No hunger and no isolation. Human touch can't heal. In simple kindness we reveal all that is right, all that is real. We are the hands that reach to the heart of need. Strong hands and kind. With compassion and bread, we comfort and care and feed. Any ease and troubled mind. A fortress for the fragile, a warrior for the weak. It all comes down to you and me. We've got to do all that we can. We are the hands. Every outcast, every runaway, Every homeless mother sleeping in a Chevrolet needs more than mere words that would implore grace and mercy for the poor. 'Cause we are the hands that reach to the heart of need, with strong hands and kind, with compassion and bread, we comfort and care and feed. Maybe ease a troubled mind, waters for the fragile, a warrior for the weak. It all comes down to you and me. We've got to do all that we can. You can serve for the honor of Allah. Give your all in Jesus' name. Redeemed for the glory of goodness alone. No matter the banner you claim, in the end, we're all the same. Let's leave our luxury for a while. Offer a blanket or a smile to those that Providence has left out in the cold. We are the only hope. We are the hands that reach to the heart of need. Yes, with strong hands and kind, with compassion and bread, we comfort and care and feed. Maybe ease a troubled mind, a fortress for the fragile, a warrior for the weak. It all comes down to you and me. We've got to do all that we can. We've got to do all that we can. We've got to do all that we can. We are the hands. We are the hands. We are the hands. Thank you. That's on my Greatest Misses CD.
So I'm just here to introduce our next speaker. We always have someone from our group come up and tell us about how they're living their best life, or at least trying their best to live their best life. So can you please come up, Don Thomason?
Thank you. Morning, everybody. Get my glasses in the right position to read. Some of you may know that I sing, not just in the shower or along with the car radio. I perform semi-professionally on stages both small and smaller. I have a band, a duo, and also perform solo, a configuration for every price point. I perform country music for the most part. Not exclusively, but it's my bread and butter. I don't think I have to stretch much to point out the cultural closeness between religion and country music, a genre that developed commercially with the discovery of both the Carter family and Jimmy Rogers in Bristol, Tennessee. Are any of y'all familiar with East Tennessee? It's been Republican way before it was fashionable to be Republican in the South. Did I mention the semi-professional part? That means I'm not a star artist with a bus and an entourage, and I don't hang out with Carrie Underwood handing out trophies at award shows. Nor am I a commercial powerhouse songwriter like Jeffrey Steele, or a critically acclaimed writer like Mary Gauthier or Brandy Clark. Nope, I'm not in that self-sufficient musical area code. I know if I want to get paid for playing, I need to play cover songs at bars, restaurants, weddings, small festivals, and fairs. And it's not like I'm doing a vanity thing, playing star for family and friends. Because while I may be playing for the small bucks, those bucks do pay a significant amount of the bills. And I feel it if those bucks go past me down the road. Which is where the interweaving of religion in the country genre comes in, and where it gets a bit tricky for a country singer who's a non-believer. In both the most famous and the sort of famous country songs, lyrics with at least tacit references to the Christian religion come as easily as breathing. Many times when choosing material to perform, you find a song that you really get into, and there's this one little reference to the deity or to belief. Sometimes you can pull off some phonetic sleight of hand, say "aw" instead of "laud" if your accent stretches the vowel just right. But that's not an option most of the time. Now, understand the dynamics of performing covers live. Now, when you're an artist, people come to hear what you create. They've heard your records, they already know what your brand is, so the audience is pretty much on your side. When you're a cover performer, you necessarily have an audience more likely to turn on you because they're comparing you to every favorite artist they have. Your audience loves their hits and their old favorite songs, and they let you know what they are. Some of them include religious references. Granted, I don't get out-and-out gospel requests when I perform at a bar. I did one night, and the rest of the bar shouted the guy down with, "Hey, don't you know where you are? You're in a bar." True story. But there was a time that my band was getting as many requests for Long Black Train as they were for Silver Wings or Friends in Low Places. And there's another situation to navigate, working with other musicians. People with the love and the skill for country music generally come from the same culture of people who love listening to country, and that culture includes belief. Even though my name is on the band, I've had to figure out how to handle interacting with players who have firm belief. I'm not the type to hand out edicts of any sort, so I gravitate towards players who don't make a big point about their religion, just as I don't make a point about my lack thereof. The usual point of difficulty comes in selecting new songs for the set list. If someone suggests one with a religious reference, I tend to hope that it dies of indifference on my part. So far, it works that way. In general, I've become skilled in the art of deflection about my non-belief, ghosting the topic with fellow musicians, and being as vague as necessary with venues and their patrons. I've done these things because I want to keep working with certain people who I like personally and admire musically, and also because I perceive I may not work near as much if these venues and patrons knew I'm a non-believer. Let me cite a parallel from the famous person world. Back in 2010, country star Shelley Wright came out as gay, and religious country fans reacted as you might expect. Wright said her record sales were cut in half, and she got death threats and angry mail about where her soul was going. I guess fans think it's fine to sing about running around on your partner in a country song, but if your personal life suggests that who you're running around with or on is the same gender as you, that's somehow a bridge too far. But right or wrong, whether you're a big fish or a small fish, the audience perception of you dictates your success. And perception sometimes is personal and not musical. So I keep feeling my way through this musical landscape, trying to find the best balance between staying true to my non-belief and keeping myself employed as a semi-pro country performer. I chafe at the restrictions I put on myself and hope to find ways to loosen them. Now, I don't expect to get to where Shelley Wright got, where her lifetime of being closeted brought her to the point where she said she put a gun in her mouth, and then realized she could no longer conceal who she was. But if I do get to some personal Rubicon crossing point with my non-belief where I feel I must make a change, I hope I handle total openness and its consequences as well as she has hers.
I'm short. Sorry. So now it's time for our announcements and acknowledgements, and I'm going to start off with passing of the hat. As you may or may not know, Sunday Assembly Nashville is a 501c charitable organization, and we are volunteer run. And as my good friend Lori Nolan likes to say, where two or more are gathered, there are. So since we're relating everything to songs today, there's a song from Avenue Q called The Money Song. And most of it is it talks about being closer to God, but at the end of the day, it says, give us your money. Give us your goddamn money. Because we need it to do our thing. So, Lori, do you want to add anything to that?
I'll just add the logistics of how you can do that. So first we have our hat passers who are in and amongst to go ahead and start passing the hat. And if you're sitting next to someone with a green name tag, they may or may not put something in the hat. That's because they get a green name tag because they give every month through a sustaining membership. If you'd like to know how to do that, there are little half-sheet forms. You can sign up for that online, and that really helps with our budget. You can also see Tanya. Tanya over there can take a credit card donation today if you'd like. If you want to write a check, you can make it to Sunday Assembly Nashville. All of the money that we collect does stay here in Nashville. It helps support us. And for those who weren't here last month, this venue is more than doubling the rent starting in a couple of months. So we're going from like $400 a month to over $1,100 a month for this 4 hours. So we're looking for other venues. If you have leads, let us know. And the sustaining membership really helps a lot to know that we can sustain finding a place, if not here somewhere. So thank you very much to everyone who is sustaining member. Thank you also to all of the many volunteers it takes to put this on, financial volunteers and in-person volunteers. So thank you very much.
So, again, I'm going to refer you to your program. There's a list of things that's coming up. First of all, the Middle Ground Potluck and Smoop. It's next week at Stephen and George's house. Yes, he is that corny in person. It's not just an on-stage persona. Tea and Books at the Cooks will be Saturday, January 26th. All Fun and Games Smoop at Nicole and Teresa's house. Now, that's Super Bowl Sunday, ladies. Are you aware of that? No. Okay. So that may adjust, obviously, but feel free to come join us for games of either the football or the board variety. And then the last one is about spreading the word. Now, I don't know if any of you saw, we had some people handing out flyers the other day about how we want to invite more people to Sunday Assembly Nashville. And we want to get the word out because we're awesome and we want more people to know that they can be part of this awesome community. So if you'd like to be part of spreading the word, I have some flyers here that you can feel free to take with you, or you can join us on Saturday, February 9th from 12 to 3 p.m. Looks like we're going to meet up somewhere and then distribute from there. So is there anyone? Oh, yes, Jason, you said you had an announcement that you wanted to make.
Just a couple, real quick. So one is social medias, if you do it. Tweet us, retweet us, like us, post cool things at any event you go to, or from Sunday Assembly here, from lunch, wherever, or just give us a follow. Also, I was going to announce that on the note, venue change and that kind of thing. We have so far tentatively got a venue for March. So we'll be here next month, same place, same bat time, same bat channel. Then the month after, so starting in March and April for sure, we're going to be over at Hickman Elementary. It's right behind Donaldson Elementary, so still pretty centrally located. We'll be in their gym / auditorium, gymatorium. I don't know how you say that, what that is. So we'll be there. It's a nice space. It's twice the size of this room. There's a small little stage area, projector screen, everything. We'll work on details as far as coffee and such. They are open for us doing that, doing lunch there, brunch there, or in the cafeteria, which we can also rent, or we can find a restaurant close by. So pretty good, and it's going to actually cost us less than here. So big shout out to Jeannie. I don't know, she's in here somewhere, or she will be. But she helped us find that. The principal there is a friend of Sunday Assembly, so very helpful. So we'll try it out for March and April. The board's kind of giving their okay on that. And if we all like it and agree with it, keep going. If we want to find another place, we can go with that. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Oh, Patrick has something. Okay.
Hey, everybody. Good morning. Just 3 announcements real quick. If you would like to know how you can be involved with making a difference in our community, you have 3 opportunities. One, this very afternoon. If you guys recall that last month Jim Helton was here and he got a bunch of us organized afterwards that afternoon to talk with all the secular organizations in this area about how we can work together and support each other and have a greater impact and visibility in our community. That happened last December, and today, from 2 to 4, we're going to be getting together at the exact same place at West Police Precinct in Nashville, and it's from 2 to 4. Anyways, if you would like to participate in that and meet with other secular groups, there's more information on Meetup. That's number 1. Number 2, this coming Saturday is January 19th, and there is going to be the 3rd annual Women's March here in Nashville, and a bunch of us have participated and supported that in the past. We'd like to do so again, and this time we would like to do so kind of like as a group and represent Sunday Assembly and let the other communities and organizations that are supporting the Women's March know that we are making common cause and we want to be here and support a lot of what they're talking about as far as individual members. And so, again, more information about that on Meetup. And 3rd, March 21st, as you know, is Martin Luther King Day. There's going to be a lot of, excuse me, thank you. January 21st, thank you, is Martin Luther King Day, that following Monday. And there's a lot of organizations, many of them are religious, that are getting out there and participating in like charity events, and there's a march. So anyways, we also want to be a part of that conversation and support the cause of civil rights. And so, again, more information about that on Meetup. But yeah, if you would like to come out and make a difference in our community, 3 ways you can do it. Thank you.
All right, so now my closing thoughts. As I said at the beginning, music is a part of all of us. I've been on stage in one way, shape, or form since I was 6 years old. I sang a little song about an invisible dog that I hid in my pocket. I have no idea what that was about. But my parents got me into music because it expresses everything that we can think about. There's music that makes you happy. There's music that makes the blood sing in your veins. I'm sorry, if you listen to, do you hear the people sing from Les Miserables and you don't feel like you want to go storm the Bastille? You and I need to have a conversation. And then there's songs for when you're sad and songs for when you're contemplative, and so many songs that you just can't even contemplate all the things that they put together. But for people of a certain age, there's some songs that we became familiar with thanks to Bugs Bunny. And I want you to think about the next time you hear the Ride of the Valkyries, I want you to hear in your head Elmer Fudd going, "Killed a wabbit, killed a wabbit." Classical music has been repurposed so many times throughout history, and that's one of the more recent iterations of that. And we can take songs that meant one thing and turn them into something else. Just ask Weird Al Yankovic. He's basically made a living out of doing that. So I want you to look at the songs that you listen to. Look at the ones that resonate with your heart and with your mind. And maybe, just maybe, you can hear these next songs and make them a part of that.
And thank you, Jen, for hosting today. She did a great job. Let's give it up for her. It's not an easy thing to get up there at that podium, I can tell you. All right. Girls, you want to say something about this one? Felicia, you ought to say something about this one because you wanted to do this song so much.
I love this song. I also love Kesha, but I really, really love this song. We changed a little bit of the lyrics, and I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it. We went with grammarly improper, 'cause there ain't no heaven. But I kind of wanted it to be because this life is heaven. That's a big part of my personal theology. We get to choose every day whether we want to live in heaven or hell through our words and actions and our interactions with others. So I really like the idea of this song because there is no heaven. Our heaven is right here, however we choose to make it in this one life. Wow.
Even the stars and the moon don't shine quite like we do. Dreamers searching for the truth, living like they're nothing left to lose. Pretty reckless, pretty wild, talking smack and we'll just smile.
All right, we've done this one before. This is one of those rock anthems. I love it because it's got the approach to it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Not a. It's like. I like that part. It's got some to it. All right, here we go then. The start's kind of nice. We're going to start. We're going to take the beginning of this song, and we're going to start it kind of nice. Yeah. Oh, no, that's a different tune, isn't it?
We're going to need you to rock out when it's time to rock out, okay?
They will not force us. They will stop degrading us. They will not control us. We will be victorious.
Sounds like the X-Files. The paranoia is in bloom. The PR transmissions will resume. They try to push drugs to keep us all dumbed down and hope that we will never see the truth around. Another promise, another scene, another package lie to keep us trapped in green with all the green belts wrapped around our mind and endless red tape to keep the truth confined. Sing it, pretty girl. Get to changing mind control. Don't let the revolution take its toll. You can flick a switch and open your third eye. You see that we should never be afraid to die. Rise up and take the power back. It's time that fat cats had a heart attack. You know that their time is coming to an end. We have to unify and watch our flag ascend. They will not force us. They Don't forget lunch. It's quite an. I'm so eloquent, aren't I?
Oh, one
So
more
many
thing,
words.
because they let me have a microphone. Out in, never give me a microphone. Out in the lobby, the foyer, if you want to be fancy, there are some really important surveys. We want to make Sunday Assembly the most awesome we can to meet all of your needs. So take a second, fill out those surveys, put them in the name tag bag, or give them to somebody who looks like they know what they're doing, because we want to hear from you. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. What? Where are we going for lunch? We're going to Las Palmas for lunch.
And there was also an insert to collect emails, phone numbers, and birthdays.
Yeah.
With your approval.
We can't send you a birthday card if you don't tell us when your birthday is. And we love celebrating life together. Celebrating birthdays is a big part of that.
Yeah, some of us up here have birthdays this month.
Ray has a birthday.
We got any more birthdays this month? Who's January baby?
Oh, we got to have some more.
Yay, January baby!
Okay, stand up right up. We're here in the front. And just kidding.
Just kidding.
Okay, one more corny joke, and then can we play the song?
Yeah.
Okay, so middle C, E flat, and G. Walk into a bar. Bartender says, "Oh, sorry, we don't serve minors." Okay, here we go. 2, 3, 4. I believe in good. Oh, I believe in good. I believe in being good and doing good, just for goodness sake. Good makes the whole world better. Good is right, and I believe in harmony. Respect for all humanity. I believe that we will find the only truth we need. Living this one life by this one creed. I believe in good. I believe in good. You ought to know it by now. Let's sing it again. Oh, I believe in good. Oh, I believe in good. I believe in being good and doing good, just for goodness sake. Good makes the whole world better. Good is right, and I believe in harmony. Respect for all humanity. I believe that we will find the only truth we need. Living this one life by this one creed. I believe in good. I believe in good. I believe in good. I believe in good. Thank you. Thank you to the band. Hard work.